Hi friends, welcome to another Show Me Your Junk. This week I'm going to bring to you my most popular request. Those are the paper bag topiaries. They're super easy to make, very inexpensive. I think y'all will really like them. And if you're new around here, and I know there's a lot of new people, thank you so much for subscribing. Be sure you check me out on these other platforms. I am on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram as Upcycled by Bri, and then I also have my website, upcycledbybri.com. I'll be sure to leave all of those in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's talk about supplies real quick. Today I'm going to be using lavender. The lavender from Walmart is super popular right now, and I love it as well. I'm going to make these for my own home, and this is what I've been using in my home. So these are off of Amazon, and I will link that down in the description box below too, so you can check them out. I think they're very realistic looking. I've got my paper bags, of course, and then I will be using my empty DIY paint cans. Just to keep from throwing them away. You could totally use a glass jar. I got these from my last week's video, the big haul down in my garage, about 6 of those. So I just wanted to show that as an option. You could use a pickle jar, you could use anything that you have, just an empty container. I have some Spanish moss here. It is $1 at the Dollar Tree. Jute rope, $1 at the Dollar Tree. This fluff came out of a pillow from the Dollar General, so a huge pillow, $3. All this filling is just like polyfill, and it's a lot cheaper, so a little hack for you there. My glue gun is hiding back here, and then I also have some Gorilla Clear Grip adhesive. This is very similar to E6000. Just to spruce the bags up, it's a step you could skip, but I know a ton of you have the IOD crockery stamps. Those would be a great option. I am going to be using an IOD transfer today. So a couple different options. If you have other decor stamps, you wanted to do some decoupage, maybe you even wanted to use paint and paint something by hand. So options are endless here. I'm going to show you my favorite way to make them. Since I am putting an image on my paper bags, I'm going to do that first while the bag is flat and easier to stamp. And what I like to do is open the bag up and imagine where I want my image to be, just to make sure. So I'm going to center my image right over these 2 lines. The older style IOD transfers come in a roll like this. The newer style do come in sheets, which are a little easier to use. If you're thinking about ordering them, keep that in mind. I'm going to cut out just the parts of this transfer that I want to use, being careful to make sure I keep the backing on the transfer so it doesn't get ruined. I'm peeling the backing off of the transfer and laying it on the bag. Using the tool included, I will rub and press the transfer until it adheres to the bag. I do think it makes it a little more durable, so I usually do. And I'm going to cut off a couple inches off of the top of my bag, just because my paint cans aren't very tall. That way I don't have a lot of excess paper that I'm working with. If you are using taller jars, you might want to play around with it a little bit and make sure that you're leaving enough of the bag to roll down over the edge. Now I'm going to open up the bags and I'm going to drop a dollop of hot glue right down into the middle. And that's just going to hold the paint can in place while I work on it. Pretty self-explanatory here, but I am just using a razor knife to cut down my floral foam to fit inside of my can. I do save all of those little pieces of foam for small projects. I'm going to roll down the edges of the bag, being pretty gentle. I do want to hide those cut edges. I'll just roll and tuck, and then I'm going to take the whole bag and squish the paper up. I'm going to use a combination of the clear grip and the hot glue with the floral foam. So I'm just going to do a little circle of the clear grip along the bottom, and then a dot of the hot glue, and they don't touch, to hold that in place while the other glue dries. Down in between the can and the paper bag. I press it all the way down to the bottom, tucking it into the corners and all around the edges. You can see once you have the fluffing in there, it makes the bag appear a lot more full, like it would be full of dirt. So now we're going to take our lavender and place it in. With some lavender, you might need to cut every piece apart and place them a little differently. On mine today, I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and insert it just the way it is because this lavender is very twiggy. I'll just press it into the floral foam, making sure I get it all the way through both of those pieces. Another reason I like this lavender is how bushy it is here around the bottom. I think it makes it look a lot more realistic. Now we'll put the Spanish moss down around the base just to cover the floral foam and the paint can. I like to glue mine down. It's totally up to you. This does make a mess, just the way it is sometimes. I'll take a little section of jute here. I wrap it around the bag a couple of times, cinching it tight, making sure that that bag folds over the edges of the paint can and hides anything that I don't want to be shown. So you can see that is super simple. Here's one I have styled next to the cloche I made a couple of weeks ago. This is in my living room. I placed the other one in my kitchen, and I have it sitting next to that cute little crock jug from last week. There were so many things in last week's haul that I couldn't get them all styled in time. You guys remember this adorable little chair? I said I was going to replace the one that is currently in my guest room with this one. Let's use some Dawn dish soap and water here and just get it all cleaned up. There were a couple of loose little dowels on it as well that I used some wood glue and just got it all sturdied back up. We've had this furniture in our guest room for a few months now. I haven't had a chance to paint it yet. It will be getting painted white. More items from last week's haul, that metal wire basket and the other cute little crock. Another popular item from last week was the beautiful drawers that I salvaged from the workbench. I have a lot of these handles in my stash. I'm going to pull them off of the wire and turn them into feet for this drawer. I think this would make an adorable box to hold herbs on the porch in the spring. What would you use it for? Here's another one. I pulled some old casters out of my stash and attached them to the bottom. I will be keeping this one. For now, it's in the corner of my kitchen. In the spring, it will go out on my porch and hold a heavier plant. That way I can move it around easier. The last drawer is in my living room. It is a little more narrow, so I placed some glass jars in it with the dried lavender, a vintage strawberry basket, and a little cute metal basket complete this vignette. The last thing I want to show you, I completed this little look in my kitchen by adding that beautiful wooden board underneath, and that potato masher with the chippy handle did fit in just perfectly. So you see, you can use anything to create beautiful home decor. I just happen to love super unique pieces. How do you prefer to style your home? I hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any new videos. I upload every Thursday and Sunday. This Sunday I'm going to have a beautiful buffet makeover for you, so make sure you don't miss out. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye friends.